Everything's a privilege. This is incredibly powerful. Yeah. First of all, as a whole separate and intriguing conversation, everything is a privilege and everything is a vulnerability. And this is like an incredibly important subject to talk about. I think mental content is the ultimate privilege. I think the second one is beauty. I'm fascinated that we haven't gotten yet to attractive privilege. When I look at men and women navigate this world, there's nothing more clear to me in the privilege that, like they're like white male, I'm like, attractive privilege makes that look in minor leagues if you look at the data. I have no interest in thinking that I'm telling anyone what to do or giving. I do not think that I'm giving advice. I really don't. And I don't touch on this enough, and I have touched on it at times, and this is a great format to touch about it. I have no belief that I'm right. I have no belief that I'm giving advice. I have no belief that anyone listening to this should do what I'm saying. I am putting info into the system, and I'm hoping that people can extract something of value for them based on their own self-awareness of themselves. I'm aware, which is why I talk about it so much. There's a reason I talk about self-awareness so much, why it was a pillar of my last book, why it's a big character in V Friends. Self-aware hair, the tortoise and the hare. I think people don't, one day when I'm, I think 47-year-old Garry, for cynics and people that were watching, is better than they thought it would be than 27-year-old Garry, right? Like the hot takes on, I'll never forget when I hit the scene on Twitter, the whispers at conferences, I could hear them in the back room, in the green room. And I definitely read it on Twitter because I was like popping. They're like, out of everyone who's popping on Twitter in 2007, the consensus was the only person that won't be here in a decade is Garry. Because it was too hot, too fast, too much. People literally, I'm empathetic. When you have this kind of energy, I'm empathetic to how this story plays out for different people. I get why the person burns out. I get why the person really does the ultimate bad thing and disappears off the front. I get what that, but that's because I'm not on the extreme insecurity side. I'm on this other side. So I always knew. But one of the things, I get a lot of like joy out of like knowing that so many people didn't think I'd be there and I'm at the top of it. Same way I feel about V Friends. Nobody has a clue, including my inner circle, of how much thoughtfulness I did in character development. This is my Disney, this is my Sesame Street, Big Bird, Mickey Mouse, right? Optimus Prime, Pikachu. Like self-awareness is profound. The story of the tortoise and the hare is profound to every listener of this. There's not a single listener right this second that's listening here right now, if they're 8 or if they're 88, that isn't extremely vulnerable to the lack of patience because they're too ambitious. It's the reason they're listening. So self-aware hair for me is a phenomenal story I get to tell for the next 50 years. And I can't wait to make self-aware hair more famous than Garry Vee is today, because that will be the way I scale putting positivity into the world, V Friends. And so I'm excited about that. As long as you come from a place of humility and understand that ego kills people. Yes, we have some luxury of mindset and communication, but for me, I don't think people should listen to me. I think people should listen to everything and try to find positivity and usability out of everything. And they should dismiss what is clearly negative and selfish, and they should triple down on everything that is selfless and positive. And that is the answer to your question. What should people do? They should be very, very focused on trying to do the following. Lean in dramatically more to things that are positive. Your grandfather, podcasts, lean into positivity. Then they should be on the awareness, eyes wide open, on is this delusional and lacks practicality? Like, if I just dream it, it will happen. No. Lean in, cut out, literally step back, audit your entire life from the people you spend time with, your family, your friends. Look at every person you follow. Are they triggering your insecurities for their own self-interest? Or are they trying to put love into it so that you go on and do your thing? Watch, look for it. But whatever you do, back to like working out, like, protein. And, when Mike Vacanti's like, all right, you did a lift, like protein. I'm like, really? Okay. And like during COVID, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm starting to finally get some muscles. Oh, because I was doing protein after lifts and not after not lifts. I was doing it right. Here's something right for everyone. Cut out 1 hour of negativity, add 1 hour of positivity. If you're listening right now and you're like, social's such a drag, it's because you're in a drag mindset and the algos and the people you follow are following you. You know what my social looks like? In sunshine. I'm being dead serious. You know what my algos look like? Sunshine. In the world of the momentum of darkness right now, sunshine. You know why? I choose to fight for positivity, but I refuse to not be grounded in practicality, which is why I've always thrown curveballs. 8th place trophies lead to entitlement and fear of losing, and it fucks up kids. So like, it's kind of that juxtaposition. Practical positivity is something everyone needs to add more. We are gonna put out stuff forever because it's how we're wired. The people who are listening right now, for a lot of them, they need to understand where they match with us and where they don't. You and I match on a lot of things. There's a lot of things we don't match on. The person on the other side needs to figure that out. You, I would argue, watching you from afar, we know each other, but not that deep. We haven't had those 6 hours that we need, that we will have in the next 50 years where it starts to get even closer. But even from afar, it's clear to me that you're understanding more and more what is right from the messages you've heard and what's not right for you, and you refine it and you refine it. To your point, I say it all the time, please don't be me. The only thing I want people to be like me is be as happy as me. That's an insular game. That's a self-awareness game. That's a process game. That's the only thing I want people to be like with me. Like, I'm weird. I've got a lot of weird nuances. I do a lot of things that are not scalable. I don't maximize for it. I'm always worried when people are like, oh, I want to learn how you build your businesses. I'm like, it's real different. Like, I don't maximize for profit. I maximize for retention of relationships. If you aren't as confident as I am, when those people leave and compete with you, you become grudge-oriented and envy-oriented instead of happy-oriented. Like, I've got some weird elements that people can't run my playbook. But I couldn't run other people's playbook. So pay attention, find what works for you, try it multiple times. Steve said something you like, try it once. Didn't work? Steve's not an idiot. You don't suck. Try it again.